Hello everyone, we are literally jumping straight back into the next episode of Final Fantasy X-2. So we are just at 51% and we've just finished up in Bevelle. We've put down a comsphere and we're going to hop down to Zanarkand to literally just put down a comsphere. Shinra has that done, and then we just have to run into the ruins to speak with Isaru. But oh my goodness, we have gotten like 17 new subscribers or so in the last week. We're up to like 75 subscribers. We're nearly at 100. Honestly, never thought we'd reach 50. We're now like at 75 or more. I can't. I'm overwhelmed by the support and people leaving comments and likes and everything. I just really appreciate it, guys. So I was thinking of like, I know obviously people that have like way more fans have like little names for their little subgroups, but I think we could like be the recusants or something. My little recusants squads. I don't know. That's just my thoughts there. But literally just run along through Zanarkand here, and we just need to speak to Isaru and collect a little percentage cutscene. But there's also some really good items here, like because we stopped the tourists from being able to go here because of our monkey situation. In chapter 2 we get an awful lot more treasure chests to collect.
I've heard that fiends have been appearing at the temples. Do you know anything?
They're coming from the chambers of the faith.
It pains me to hear that.
And Zanarkand?
There are fiends as always. No more.
Little
no fewer.
lore question, but in theory, shouldn't Zanarkand be like
the only things thriving
overrun
here are the
as well? Because
to make matters worse,
like
Sid ran
all
off
of
a
the
while
older
ago and
faiths
hasn't come back. I guess that makes me Zanarkand's lone defender.
like all the other faiths, like
time to
Lord
do some
Zaon
defending.
and stuff, like
Until
their
next
faiths
time.
all existed here, so unsure why there isn't any, but maybe that's just a little oversight, who knows. But yeah, like stamina springs and everything, like the item drops here are amazing. And obviously this is kind of the second chance moment. You can do the matchmaking for the monkeys in chapter 3 if you wish. But like, why not just get the stuff sorted earlier rather than later? So this is all pretty much optional. You know, you don't need to necessarily run along this way, but if you are curious what you get, you know, there's some useful stuff. Mithril Bangle, Tree Phoenix Downs, high potions. Okay, like a lot of the stuff we probably have 99 of, but you know, remedies like we could probably be using as handily, but you know, it's all good to have. But that's literally Zanarkand. All you have to do is come here, speak to Isaru, and then you can leave. What I never really noticed though was the fact that the Chamber of Faith door is actually like there to the right. Like I never actually noticed that it was there, like ruined and destroyed and stuff, you know? Pretty interesting. But yeah, just sorting. Like the Mithril Bangles are only a little bit stronger than the Iron Bangles, but yeah, like again, I cannot wait till chapter 5 when we can finally collect a bunch of the ultimate weapon items or ultimate dress sphere items to let us finally max out all these different dress spheres that we just can't fully level up. But next, we actually are going to start a mission that's going to take us the rest of the game. That is, the Albad have made
Boy,
a
am I
deal.
glad to see you. I need your help with something.
Fiends?
Not fiends.
Yeah, they've made a
Cacti.
deal with the Cacti Nation. So the Cactuars, the little cactuses,
Marnala of the Cactuar Nation has asked to
there's
see
now
us.
like a
We've
peace
been
treaty
too
with
busy
them.
here to spare anybody. If it's not a problem, I'd like
And
you to
Yuna's going
represent
to
us.
go talk to
What's
the
the Cactuar
Cactuars
Nation?
and make pals. And basically,
Don't worry if
similar
you haven't heard
to
of it before. We've only
Riku's
recently
ultimate
established
weapon,
diplomatic ties.
like there are
Benzo!
10 gatekeepers
This
or, you
is
know,
our interpreter, Benzo.
special Cactuars that we can go hunt around Spira and bring back
Very nice to meet you.
to Beacon Owl
Hi.
to like keep
All right, you can
a
take it from here.
protective magical seal over an
When will
evil
you ever learn
fiend
to say no?
is the whole vibe. So we just have to talk to Benzo, and then you can go talk to the other guy in the hover, and he's like, oh, you want to go to the Cactuar Nation? That's cool. We can take you over there now, and then you just go over there, have a little chit chat, a little bit of cutscenes, magic, and I'm not entirely sure if like the conversation options matter for percentage, but you can just go with what I say, just to be nice. But here is actually where
Central out here.
we originally explored to
So
get
where's this Marnala
the
anyway?
Mercury Sigil,
Right here.
but now
Here where?
Intent 2's kinda
Sure this is the
changed
place?
up maps. Turns out these cactuses are alive.
It talked? What's going on?
This is Marnala.
I'll translate. Marnala's greeting us. Hello, Benzo. She says hello to you too, Sphere Hunters. I am Marnala of the Cactuar Nation. It doesn't surprise me that you are startled by the way she's smiling. We, the cacti of this nation, were once cactuars. As the cacti that sprout from the desert grow, they then become cactuars. When the cactuars mature, they once again become cacti, their roots digging deep into the earth. Thus we have watched over the sands of Beacon Isle Desert since the dawn of time. And then you just say, that makes perfect sense, just to be nice. Because I do not feel like Yuna is going to be like, you know, horrible. So that makes perfect sense. And Marnala, the cacti, says thank you. And then just make sure you talk to her again. So walk forward to the X on the minimap and press the talk button. But you can see there in the background there's like a Cactuar glowing green sigil thing. So we're probably going to have to go in there at some point. So Marnala called us here because there's a strange wind blowing through the desert and the sands are trembling beneath their feet. A fearsome fiend that rests in the deep beneath the earth has now begun to stir. In the depths it gathers strength and will not be long now before it makes it move. And when the time comes, it will bring wrath and ruin upon the Cactuar Nation. The reason it lusts for vengeance against us. It was we that locked him away. And to be more precise, not just our ancestors who ruled the lands in ages past. Its need for retribution will surely lead us here. We must summon the great Habab and prepare ourselves from the coming storm. Only the Cactuars, known as the 10 gatekeepers, can weave this magical barrier. But they are out training in every corner of Spira. I need them to be brought home immediately. The Cactuar mothers will know where they have gone. Lose no time in finding the 10 gatekeepers and returning them to us. That's all she has to say. So, they're kind of a bit mean here because they say like, oh, time is absolutely of the essence. But you can only actually find 6 of the 10 gatekeepers in Chapter 3. Spoilers, Chapter 4, you basically go nowhere in Chapter 4. It's really just an awful lot of cutscenes. And then you're straight into Chapter 5, which is obviously the last chapter of the game. So, we're not going to be able to like get all 10, so we may as well not look for any of them until Chapter 5, where we can actually just get all 10 of them. But that was it. We just need to kind of start that mission, have that little cutscene, and then we can port back to the airship. Beacon out is done. Now, we are at 11 minutes. And the fact of the matter is, we have one other little thing to do to tidy up the last minute collections before we go into the Sage and Killica. So we've done Luca, we've done the Mian High Road, we've done Mushroom Rock Road, we've done Djose, at least visiting initially, we've done the Moonflow, done Guadasalam, done Thunder Plains, done the Lania Woods, we've now done Beacon Out, we've done Bavel, and we just need to do the Calmlands. We've done Mount Gagazet, and we've done the and we've done Zanarkand. But if we go to the Calmlands, we go to the bottom of the gorge, everyone's like, oh no, we've like gotten in so much trouble because there's fiends pouring out of the sunken cave because that's a chamber of the faith with the Yojimbo's faith in it. Oh no.
To be honest, I'd had enough. I wanted to blame them for turning a place like this into a tourist
And here's going to be my little bugbear for the next 3 minutes. Yuna got so pissy at Sid for the tourist, you know, situation in Zanarkand, which I agree with her on principle. You know, lots of people went on pilgrimages, journeyed to fulfill this whole situation, like supported a corrupt religious regime that like kept people suppressed and like in a cycle of death and suffering. And you know, I got why she was upset about that. And yet, when we enter, you know, there's a bit of a cognitive dissonance. But we collect Yuna, and we collect all this advertising stuff for the games at the Calmlands, where her own father died defeating Sin at the Calmlands. So yes, turning this into a tourist attraction is bad, but like, what about the rest of the Calmlands? But anyway, we have to go collect tourists. And this is like a little mini game of, such a person will only join the group if they're first or second, and they won't do this and that. So everyone has little contingencies and need to be in a certain order in order to follow around. So this is the order you can collect people. And so we're going to collect this guy in the brown in like the center chamber. We're going to collect Lady in Blue at this fork in the road. If she's first or second in line, she doesn't care how many people she's with, so she, you know, has to be second. That's fine. So in general, you want to look at like the second to last situation, because that's always the contingency of, you know, the first one is they won't join if the group is such a size, but the second one is generally, but they're grand if in such a position. So it kind of tells you when they should be. So we have to find this guy who is literally hidden. And he says once he's third, he doesn't mind how big the group gets. So we saw the kids run one way, we saw another guy run another way. So like, yeah, it, you know, but it's not, it's going for the people in the specific order. So do not get overwhelmed. So when you get to this fork in the road, you are going to want to go this way and just chat to this lady here. So stays in the group of up to 4, but once she's in a group, she doesn't care what happens. So in other words, if you came to her when you had 4 and she become 5, she just wouldn't join you, and then like you'd have to bring them out, bring them back. So, you know, this just saves time, just to collect them all in one go. So we're going to run back to the guy that ran past us, Mr. Shirtless Sharktooth there. We're going to leave him alone, and we're going to catch this guy who would have been the very, very first guy we met. And this is where I'm like, just turn off the speed multiplier. And so we need to get this particular guy. And once he's within the first 5, he's fine. And so now we're up to 5. Odds are this guy would say, oh, once he's within the first 6, he's fine. You know, they all basically slot in the particular number in line, which isn't too bad. So if he's no more than 6th in line, he'll stick with everybody. So follow along, Mr. Shark Boy. So we're gonna jaunt up here, and it's so funny just seeing them all like on screen, you know? It makes you wonder why they didn't just have pixel or like, you know, body walker people. What word am I trying to say? Character models for Riku and Pain just to run alongside Yuna. And so get these two in the group. You can collect a treasure if the other people wouldn't be in your way jittering through the treasure chest. But a blue ring, so that gives us water resistance and the ability to cast water. Very useful. Not too shabby at all. And then I believe our next batch is the kids. So there was a boy and a little girl. They ran towards the Chamber of the Faith. So we're going to pick them up. And basically, if they're no more than 10th in line, they don't care how many people they are that are in the group. So they now bring us up to 10 followers. And you just have to run back down and into the... like the area where we actually grinded for a lot of the Tonberries in Final Fantasy X. So it's just that big chamber up this little hill. You'll find this woman with these 2 other kids. And basically, they have like no prerequisites. It's literally just, hi, I'm just not leaving these kids. So you just get them, and the 3 of them are always together, and that's grand. Nothing else matters. So it's literally, they will just follow along. It's grand. And now with this motley crew, we're going to just run them out of the cave. And basically, they give us these little orbs that allow us to reinvigorate the teleporter pad. So as you can see, we need like 4 to restore level 1 teleportation, which will let us warp all the way back to the Chamber of the Faith panel. And as you can see, certain people don't give us rewards, and like that's fine, I suppose. But like literally you'll need to get all of the stuff. What's really cool is you get the key item, the Besaid key. So we're going to go back to Besaid now before the end of this chapter to sort that out. And we get some more stuff, and at least she stayed to say thank you. The other guy just walked off, and now the kids are like, thanks so much, we found this like stuff. And now we just need 1 more teleporter sphere to make our way to the back. So with that extra one, it now lets us go to the Chamber of the Faith in the back one. And so it says there's still 2 people trapped. What you actually need to do is go talk to this guy in green. Well, sorry, that wasn't very descriptive. This other guy with the green and the white pants. And he will basically tell you that if the platforms aren't working, you need to reactivate them with energy cores. And so he will give you that 1 extra energy core that will let you use the back. So the first power level lets you get to the back, lets you get to the Chamber of the Faith pad. Then the second level lets you warp into the Chamber of the Faith and end the mission. But with the 3rd level now, we can turn to our right and collect 1 more survivor and a treasure chest. And as you can guess, this one particular I was just checking if there's any other treasure there, but this one guy is going to give us the level 4 teleportation ability. And you can't actually use the teleport pad. It'll just say you can warp here and this guy will stay at the teleport pad. But we have turbo speed. So you just actually run all the way back with this last guy. And you'll notice even with his eccentricity, he's like, he is a rebel. He doesn't go with anybody. So not that you would even find him without getting everybody else back. I suppose you could if you specifically picked people that only gave you the cores and then didn't rescue the other people that like gave you no rewards. That I suppose could be a time that happens. But since we just did them all in one go, we only have one last guy, and he's a similar issue where he needs your undivided attention. You know, you cannot have anybody else with him. You know, so... But again, we know that this guy is the last guy remaining, so just run him back to the front of the cave. And really annoyingly, he like breaks the fourth wall a little bit. He's like, were you expecting me to give you something? Sorry. And you're like, yeah, like I kind of maybe did think going the extra mile and making sure I rescued absolutely everybody would have given us like something. But... you know, we're already after fighting Dark Bahamut. And this now is about to make us realize, oh, actually, this whole Dark Aeon situation is not unique. So, just getting ready with our little dress spheres there, and we're going to hop into the Chamber of the Faith. And we are coming back for that treasure chest, you mark my words. But here we have Dark Yojimbo and another hole.
Please tell me, why is this happening?
Yeah, you know, like, I feel like talking to these Aeons isn't the vibe, but yeah, I love the voice acting and those little moments for Yuna just to be like, oh, you know, it has been a while. So he has a couple of moves. Kazoka, inflicting poison and MP damage. His Daigoro attack, just doing plain old damage. So we're gonna just hop on over to the Dark Knight here. And he's immune to armor break, like that shouldn't be that much of a surprise, but again we're now seeing the Berserker just getting counterattacks in, which is pretty nice. Now let's warp Yuna over to Alchemist and just start throwing some mega potions. But even if Pain was to get damaged, she has auto regen anyway, so it's not going to do too much. Now, with Excellence, this gives Riku immunity to all damage. So, if she would have gotten hit, she would have just been immune to that damage, which is quite nice. But she is not immune to poison. But that's where the special abilities are quote-unquote missing. And if I had have had Berserker on Riku's grade, it would have been deadly because she would have had haste on herself, then been able to berserk while hasted and do loads of damage. But we're not gonna worry too much. We're just gonna move over to White Mage, I think, or Gun Mage, I should say. But there you see the way, because of Excellence, Riku now just has guard. And we can use a blue bullet. I might as well scan just to see what sort of info we get on Dark Yojimbo, how his HP's doing. So yeah, 22,000, but like he's down to his last, you know, 9,000 HP. Immune to gravity and a bunch of different And like Pain is doing 1,000 per hit. But here we have the dreaded instant killing move. And, you know, in this game with like the real-time battle system, it is very, very scary. Like if Yuna wasn't on the cusp of hitting a Mega Potion right now, this would be very, very dangerous. Because he brings your HP value and MP value to 1 across the entire party. And as you can see, Riku is poisoned, so if that poison tick could have been allowed to, you know, happen. And as you can see, she was going to use White Wind, but she has no MP to do so. So we're just going to be attacking to help chain the attacks with Pain. And we're just keeping up our HP with like Mega Potions. But again, if Riku had have gone into Berserker, she would have done so well for herself with the haste ability on herself and everything. And one thing that's really fun to like break with Berserker is if you can have them do a move, like one of the other girls do a move like the dice attack or other moves that while it's happening other people can still attack and do stuff. The Berserker could get multiple attacks in, but that is Dark Yojimbo down and out. Because we ended up getting all of the tourists out with no issue, we're gonna get more percentage done for that.
Someone might answer.
And yeah, another hole, another mystery, and another Dark Aeon defeated. And another mission complete.
We can't thank you enough for your help. I promise we won't be doing business here anymore.
And you saved every last person. We gain a recovery bracer, which gives us regen, the Tetramaster garment grid, and we're kind of auto-warped back to the Celsius. But we have one or two other little jobs for the Calmlands before we go. So, running back. Yeah, let's not talk about the scary hole and what might be happening at the bottom of it. But if you warp back to the Calmlands, you're able to go back to the sunken cavern. But we need to warp back so that Shinra can put down a comsphere. So we're going to just talk to him to acknowledge that. We need to put a comsphere in Clasco's Chocobo Ranch. And I also just saw that treasure chest in that cutscene, and I'm like, I'm going back for that treasure chest. But it's not outside the arena. It's not on this level of the Chocobo Ranch. You have to go up to the upper level. And you have to put down your comsphere. So you have to see him do that as well. I just got stuck with the super speed there. But then, if you run all the way back to the sunken cave and get back to the Chamber of the Faith, you actually can get a really nice item there. So go back and do that. But yeah, after that, there's really just the story missions left now. Maybe one or two little side missions that I'll kind of show you. Like, I have to redo the Gunner's Gauntlet. I'll talk about that a bit more later, but as you saw in the first, running of the gauntlet, you just have to get to that waterfall where you can hide away. And when you get to the later levels where there's all sorts of different enemies attacking you, the best thing to do is simply get the little shell minion, the little shell fiend guy, the little purple guy. He drops volley shots, which are basically death shots to every enemy on the screen. And when you're standing in that little invincibility area, all the fiends just run by you. You just collect a volley, or like use a death shot to like kill one of the little shell guys. Collect a volley, stand, wait till the screen has one of those purple guys in it. Use the volley, collect another volley, and round the little situation goes. But that's gonna be this episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment. Love chatting to my subscribers and that. And I'll catch up with you guys next time when we start doing the other story missions. Talk to you then.